Welcome back to Empower Her Daily, your 3 to 4 minute daily boost for women over 30 to feel strong, capable, and proud. I'm Sophie, and today's episode is called Stress Isn't Just in Your Head. And let's clear something up straight away. This is not a quick fix, do these 3 steps, and you'll instantly never feel stressed again kind of an episode. If stress was a subject at school, I'd be retaking those exams constantly. I get stressed all the time, so I'm not the right person to take you from stress central to Zen mountain because I've cracked some kind of code. I'm right down here in the real valley of the world with you, trying to figure it out as I go. So first I want to talk about where stress shows up. Now, when most people think of stress, they think busy brain or feeling worried, etc. But stress doesn't just live in your head. It shows up in your habits, in your energy, in your cravings, in your sleep. So as an example, for me, stress looks like talking really quickly and trying to get all my words out, but then almost pausing because I can't keep up with that pace. Another would be overtraining, because training is where I de-stress and it's like a coping mechanism, which some would say is no bad thing, but it can be. It can be a bad cycle to get into. Another big one for me is struggling to show up in my relationship because I haven't got the mental capacity. It also shows up as yo-yoing between not feeling hungry and having to split all my meals up into small portions to get through them in the day, to being over hungry and when I've eaten my breakfast, just wanting to eat and finish my lunch. There are most definitely more examples, but we'll stop there. For you, it might mean skipping out on training, because I know that's a bit more common, that because your brain feels full, you need to try to get on top of everything else. It could be snapping at people you love over something tiny because you're irritable. Another one that I actually struggle with as well is staring at my phone instead of going to sleep. Even though you're exhausted, it's like a distraction from the stress you're feeling. So you might have many others, but from those, what you can then end up doing is having a bit of a narrative in your head that there's something wrong with you, or why can't I just stick to a plan? Or my favorite, everyone else is coping better than I am. Ding, ding, ding. But this narrative isn't true. You, me, and many other people like us likely either have too much on their plate, or we don't have the routines and the strategies in place to help us manage. For me, it's both. And I don't know your individual circumstances, but it could be either, both, or something else. So what I want you to try and reframe today is that it's not that you can't stick to it or you can't cope. You're just carrying too much. And when it shows up in other areas of your life, it's not your body trying to sabotage you, it's trying to protect you, giving you either quick energy or distraction, or just your brain shutting down to have a break. So instead of asking, what's wrong with me, try to reframe it and ask, is that how stress is showing up in my body today? And if you remember from previous episodes, having that pause is having a little mindset shift from judging yourself to being curious of your situation. And curiosity is actually where change starts, because we're giving ourselves the understanding and the permission to dig a little deeper. Now, I don't have some kind of stress solution, which I've kind of already mentioned, but here are a few small things that I do when I'm spiraling that you could possibly try. Now, number one is to set your non-negotiables. What do you have to do today without fail? Then the hard part of that one is saying no to everything else. It's hard. We're almost hardwired as women to say yes, but it's such an important thing to try and set those kind of boundaries. Number two is add movement. Now, as I mentioned, I can overuse this one, but I know a lot of people don't. And I think it's an important. By adding even a 5 to 10 minute activity can help regulate stress and subsequently make your next actions easier. There's proven science on this somewhere. Number three is to prioritize sleep. Now, I feel like a massive hypocrite saying this today, because so far this week I have really struggled with this one, but I'm getting back on track. Sleep is such an important part of being able to think logically, manage stress, work productively, perform tasks, as well as regulate our body and our emotions. So yeah, sleep should be a priority. Sorry to amp the pressure on this one. I feel you, but it's important. So I want to highlight it, and you can only do your best. And likewise, same for me. Hopefully, if we can use some of these, we can bring back some perspective and allow ourselves to practice stress management without the pressure of being a Zen queen or something. So today, instead of asking yourself to be less stressed, because, that doesn't work, try to be real. Feel stressed, be an imperfect human while also choosing small acts of care for yourself and your body. Choose one small thing. Pause, a moment of reflection, some movement, a boundary sentence saying no to someone, or even an early nap, because those small things are the work. That's the progress to less stress and a less stressful life. Or so I'm learning on my less stress journey. So thank you for listening to Empower Her Daily. This is your journey, your pace, your strength. See you next time.